Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm doing a presentation on Safer Internet Day, um, done as part of the Cultural Ambassadors Group. It's quite important that we talk about topics like this, obviously as the internet becomes more prevalent, so I hope some of this information will be useful to you, and I hope you enjoy. So what do we mean by eSafety? eSafety is the core concept of Safer Internet Day. It's about spreading awareness of dangers that we can face online, on the internet, and on social media, and suggesting measures and procedures to avoid getting ourselves into dangerous situations online. Okay, so what are some of the problems we might face online? Well, there's quite a few. Users pretending to be people they're not, masquerading as someone of a different age or of a different background for whatever reason, malicious reasons, maybe to make themselves appear more intelligent or in a better economic position, maybe. There's lots of reasons why. Possible malicious or inappropriate content and software. So that encompasses sort of like pictures, videos, bits of writing you might see on social media or on certain other websites that may not be age appropriate or may just generally be how do I say it, distasteful. And you can have malicious software, often known as computer viruses, malware, which usually pretend to be files. I don't know what you might be downloading, something genuine like just a piece of work that you might need, and it turns out to actually be a malicious piece of software that runs on your computer, and they can do many bad things. So we'll talk about dealing with those. Fakes or edited photos. This is spoken about a lot at the moment. Links into a lot of topics like body image at the moment on social media, and appearance, but people might also fake or obfuscate photos for other reasons, sometimes just out of spite or for political reasons. False or biased information, another big one. There's a big talking point in the news at the moment. Biased information about many topics, conspiracy theories being spread. A lot of them politically orientated, some not. Some information might just generally be out of date or incorrect. And then we've got spam email, and password phishing. So obviously spam email, get lots of sort of what we'd call in real life junk mail to your mailbox, that that might possibly be malicious or not. Maybe it's just cluttering space and trying to offer you things you don't need for sale. And then there's password phishing. Password phishing is trying to trick someone into giving out some online credentials or other credentials, actually, by masquerading maybe as an official login page for a website like, I don't know, Facebook, Instagram, or Amazon, and then the page has been programmed to take your data that you've entered, and you'll receive that usually by an unsolicited email that's made to look real. So people posing as others. First point. Unfortunately, certain people, users, decide to utilize social media services and other websites to pose as someone they are not. This can be anything from someone pretending they have high-level qualifications, as I mentioned, to an adult pretending they're a child or teenager. It is recommended that you do not speak with people that you don't know on the internet on a private level, and certainly be very careful when speaking with them in a public forum to avoid getting into situations where you're speaking to someone who actually isn't who they say they are. You should also never meet anyone you don't know in real life, that you've met online. If you really must, take an adult or a trusted person with you, also hopefully an adult, and always make sure that your immediate family and friends know where you are. It could be beneficial to your safety. Unsuitable content. Sometimes users may post unsuitable, inappropriate content on social media or on their own website. Usually social media sites have moderators, highly technical electronic filters and policies to stop this type of content from being posted, but sometimes things do slip through the cracks. Sometimes things get circumvented and don't get caught. If you see something you believe is unsuitable or inappropriate, speak to a trusted adult immediately, and if possible, report it using the site's inbuilt report function. All the major social media sites have on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Okay, sometimes if you're downloading files from the internet, what you requested might not actually be what you receive. It might be a piece of malware called malicious software, often called a virus or a worm. There are other types. These are just the most common names that people like to call them. If you'd installed an antivirus program, popular choices are AVG, Avast, ClamAV, WebRoot, McAfee, and Sophos. You will have probably recognised those if you own a Windows computer. You will most likely be protected already, and the program will usually alert you and tell you that there's been an infection. It will start to deal with the software. However, if you don't have any software installed, or it's a piece of malware that hasn't been identified yet, tell a trusted adult or the computer's owner. You'll usually notice when things start to go wrong. There'll be some quite clear signs depending on what the software's purpose is, malicious purposes. Take the computer to a qualified technician. They can usually diagnose the problem and fix it. In the worst cases, like I said, a piece of malware might not be yet identified. It's rare, but it happens. You might have to perform a full reset and reinstall. You might have to get an engineer to do that. But sometimes there are certain pieces of software that unfortunately can't be fixed by using a reset method because of the way they're written. Edited or faked photos. This is a big talking point in the news at the moment, especially around things like body image and social media with young people. Often, predominantly on websites like Instagram and Twitter, you'll see photos that have been edited using software like Photoshop or other image manipulation programs. Some of these link into topics like body image, making someone appear to have a body type which they don't have. Sometimes photos will be edited to portray celebrities or political figures carrying out crimes or illegal acts which they never had anything to do with, usually made by people who wish to sabotage their reputation. This happens in a lot of cases. Sometimes people attempt to make comedic parodies of television shows and things to maybe portray people on them to seem stupid. A lot of the times you can tell when that's just done for fun, but sometimes it's made in a way to be malicious. Just be careful. If you see photos and videos like this, it's always worth being skeptical of their origin and their modifications until you know more information. If you see something which you think is fake, maybe try reporting it using the platform's report function if possible. Again, if it depicts something inappropriate, tell a trusted adult. Again, those sort of interlink there. False or biased information. Again, another big talking point in the news at the moment regarding political topics especially. The internet can be a great source of information, as we know, but some content on it can be incorrect, out of date, or biased. Always fact check with other sources, such as other websites or written material, to confirm what you've read. Anyone can publish content on the internet unchecked, so some websites can be untrustworthy. There's a list of some you can trust here. Pages with gov.uk in the address. These are official UK government sites. NHS pages. These will have nhs.uk in the address, and the official website for the UK Police is at www.police.uk. Spam emails, another one. This is very common, I'm sure. If you have an email account, you'll have some spam or junk emails in there. I know I certainly do. These emails can offer many things like money, prizes, and very, very absurdly low prices for products that are normally quite expensive. These are barely ever genuine. I say never genuine, and can contain malware too in some cases where the emails are being sent out for malicious purposes. Spam is hard to avoid. It's the nature of how email works today, I'm afraid, but there are methods to avoid it, mainly technological ones. Firstly, use a spam filter. Most email services like Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail or whatever you're using now will have these built in. But in case you don't have one, there are some you can install if you're running your own email service, which I know some people do. Try to minimize how often you give your email address out on websites to other people, because unfortunately sometimes spam emails get sent to people and then they can get sent to other people those people have contacted. That does sometimes happen. So just be careful with who you're giving your email to online and in real life, and keep an eye out for tick boxes on websites. Most online services, when you're making an account or buying a product, will try to get you to sign up to their email newsletter by ticking a small tick box. Be sure to read the labels next to these boxes and read the small print and the terms as carefully as you can. That can usually catch most things pretty early on. Password phishing. Tricking someone into giving out passwords and credentials over the internet is called phishing. Usually you receive an email claiming to be from your bank or a social media site you use, or Amazon, whatever. They include a link to a fake website that looks identical to the real one. When you log in, it sends your username and password to someone who will use it to access your real accounts. They might steal your money or your identity. If you want to catch these websites and emails, usually you can look at the email address or the URL for the website. Usually, if it's real, it will have something like, I don't know, amazon.co.uk or ebay.com or whatever. Usually the fake ones will have a random hyphen somewhere in the URL, or a word that shouldn't be there. It should be quite easy to tell if you look carefully, and that can usually help you identify whether a website's fake or not. Your banks especially, and most of the time e-commerce sites will never send you an email asking for your personal information or your username and password. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the presentation today. We hope that all this information that we've given you today, or I've given you, has been helpful. Remember, if you're ever unsure about anything on the internet or on the computer, ask and or tell a trusted adult, and just get some perspective and some knowledge on it. It's very beneficial for your safety, and we can all benefit from knowing a bit more about what we're facing on the internet in the modern day. Thank you.